everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA foam Assassin's Creed Tomahawk Part 1, you saw us get the whole handle shaped out with the curve in it and our metal support sticking out of the end, so it's stiff now. And you saw us shape out the whole head, which was cool. Dremel fast, man, but not hard. And so now's the fun. In this episode, making an EVA, actually this was super fun carving that out, but now comes even more fun, because in this episode, making an EVA foam Assassin's Creed Tomahawk Part 2, we're going to shape the rest of the handle, we're going to round it off, we're going to attach it to the head, and this thing's going to get real. And we're going to go ahead and seal it and paint it too. So this episode's going to crank, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. And then you'll have your very own Assassin's Creed Tomahawk. Alright, if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Alright, now this piece is going to drill right up into there. Alright, starting to look good, but before we do that, we are going to shape this. We're going to shape our handle. Sort of the same thing we did when we shaped this. We cut off the corner with our knife. So we're going to do the same thing. There's the circle that we want this to end up being, so we can cut off all four corners all the way down to make our life a little bit easier. Just like that. I'm going to try to take about the same depth off all the way down our piece. Alright, there we go. We've got all four corners knocked off. See our circle there? That's where we want to end up. So we helped ourselves off by getting rid of a bunch of the excess. Now we're going to come in with our super rough Dremel bit to start shaping, and then we'll come in with our finer bit and clean it up. Alright, we've got our smooth bit and we've got our crazy rough bit. So let's go in with our crazy rough bit. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to come in with the smooth bit and we're going to shape it. Alright, there we go. That's shaped. That is shaped. Now we're going to come in with our 220. Now we're going to bring in our heat gun. We're going to tighten it up. Alright, there we go. That is pretty nice. Look at that. Wow. Okay, there we go. We've got our spots marked out for our wraps. Now we have a sample piece of foam that we're going to use to get a measurement. Make a mark roughly where it ends. Right there and right there. Straight. And the other side we cut with a slight bevel. Just oh so slight. Helps us connect when we wrap around. Alright, there we go. There's our... Okay, there we go. We took our wraps and we wrapped them around and made a guide so we know what we're gluing. Now these top four are so close, we can probably just cover the whole thing. There we go.
There we go. And then just put it down all the way around. All right, there we go. Cool. Hot dog, look at that thing, man. Crazy. Crazy. But before we do that, we're gonna do this wrap, all right? This is gonna be interesting. Actually, before we do that, put some pressure on that till it bonds. All right, now we took a long piece of 2mm foam. Now we're gonna cut the wrap that's gonna wrap the handle, but we're gonna do it the way you do a baseball bat, which is the same way we did Harley Quinn's mallet. And what you gotta do is you have to cut a really long, skinny taper like this at the end of your wrap. All right, so we're gonna come in, we're going just like that. We're going to cut along the whole piece with a bevel. Okay. Perfect. Keep our knife tipped. Line just like that. We're going to start wrapping, and when we come around to this side, we're going to line up right with the edge of our wrap, like that. All right, and we're going to go all the way around our piece. All right, so we're going to go from there all the way up to just before this piece. Let's let it dry. Okay, what we did was we cut the end of our wrap with a long taper like this, like when you're going to wrap a baseball bat. And you start right here, you cement the whole thing and cement your strip. And then you start here at the corner just like this, and you start wrapping. And as you wrap around and you get to this point right here, you're going to line right up along the edge of it, and you're going to follow it all the way around like that. Easy. And because you cut those bevels on the edges, you get this nice little V in the middle. And then obviously when you come around to the end, you cut another V, another long taper like this at the end, so when it wraps at the end, it comes together and it ends right where you want it to end, like that at the top with the taper. All right, now comes the last piece. We're going to come in, we're going to drill into our head, and we're going to slide this on, but because this iron rod is just a hair off center, we went ahead and moved our little dot just a hair off center. All right, now we're going to come in with our drill bit. We're going to use a bit that's a little bit smaller than our rod because we want it to be a really snug fit. And we're going to come right into that hole that's slightly off center. And we're going to drill it in. Now this is the whole length we need right there. See that? This is set up to be the whole length. So we're going to go right into the front of the drill. All right, here we go. All right, now that's going to be a really tight fit because that hole's a little bit smaller than our dowel. All right, so oh, look at that, that's perfect. And it's going to come in just like that. Good grief, look at that thing. All right, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get some cement on here. What we're going to do, let's roughly get our area on there like that. All right, so we know that's what we're going to cement. So then we're going to come in here. We're going to get the top of our handle. All right, now this is ready to stick. So this cement is going to stick to that cement. But just for a little bit of extra strength, what we're going to do is this. You've seen us do this before. We're going to get some of the end of this dowel covered in contact cement. Okay, just a little bit on the end. Now the reason we're doing that is for this, is we're going to bring this in and we're going to spin it around like that. So now we're coating the inside of the cavity with our contact cement. And let's get this squeeze out off of there. All right. Now we're going to push that in. All right, now what's just happened is this. The dry cement here and the dry cement here have bonded. Okay, but the wet cement on the inside, that's around the dowel and that's inside the cavity, when the moisture content evaporates in that cement, which it will, they will stick together. So not only are we stuck dry foam or dry cement to dry cement, but up in the cavity, the cement is going to stick together in there as well. So look at that. Wow, man, that carved blade does it. Actually, now that we look at it, it's a little bit thick. We could have made it a little bit narrower, but it's still jamming, man. Look at that thing. Crazy. And look at that back thing. You could totally like smash someone right in the forehead with that thing. Wow. All right. Sweetness, man. Look at that. Dang, that was easy. Not bad at all. Cool. All right, we're out at the spray stand. We're going to seal our Tomahawk with our plastidip. And you know what we always say, even if you're outside in a well-ventilated area, do not spray without your respirator. All right, there we go. Covered in a few layers of plastidip. Super easy. There were 0 hidden areas on here. Just had to come at it from some angles because you got to get around the top edge of these wraps and everything, because it's easy to coat it all and then you miss like a tiny little edge around something. So every one of these wraps, you have to come at it from an angle to like get that little edge on both sides, but super easy. Look at that thing, man. That is cool. All right, it's looking real now. Let's let this thing alone for a while, let it dry all the way through, and then once it's good and dry, we're gonna paint it. All right, this should be pretty easy. We're gonna come in with our silver. All right, now we're getting some really awesome, naturally dark corners right now because we're using our sponge brush. All right, there we go. That's simple. And all right, we got some little tiny areas that the sponge brush could not get. All right, there we go. We've got the silver end done. All right, now we're gonna come in with our real brown. Got a small brush. All right, we're gonna get down inside this tiny little area here. Okay, now we're going to come in here with our sponge brush. All right, there we go. There's our brown, first layer of brown down on our handle. All right. Okay, now we're gonna come in with our raw sienna. Okay, there we go. We've kind of got it pretty dried off, right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in and we are going to lightly just get some areas built up. All right, there we go. See that? We're getting a slight tone change right there. We're just gonna come in and we're gonna keep doing the same thing. All right, we're gonna just hit it. Using the raw sienna. All right, now look at that. right down the edge there, and through here, and through here. And then we occasionally hit a little bit in the middle right there. Let's go ahead and do the same thing here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to mix up a little bit of brown and black, okay? All right. That is cool. Look at the difference in the browns now, all right? We've got the real brown down, and then we came in with the raw sienna just to pull out a little bit of a brighter look on the four edges. Nice. And then we came in and we mixed our real brown with a little bit of black to get this super dark brown, which is the exact look that we wanted. Really nice. Look at that, and I'm loving this little subtle change in the wood handle there using the raw sienna. Pretty cool. All right. Let's let it dry. All right, now we're going to come in with our apple red. All right, there you go, just like that. That's one layer. All right, now we're going to do the rest of these with one layer, and then we'll wait till it dries and we'll come back in and put a second coat on it just to get the red real solid. That's it. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to come in with our 14 karat gold. We're going to get one layer down of the gold, let it dry, and then we'll have to come in and do another layer. All right, there we go. Second layer of the gold and a second layer of the red. Fill. This is super easy too. There is zero difficulty in painting this thing. I mean, zero. All right, now we're going to come in with our brown. And we're going to come in with a little bit of black, just like we did on that handle. Not as much black though. All right, there we go. That's a dark brown. Come in. And we are going to put a little straight line all right, see that? We're just going to keep doing that. And we're going to do that to create wood grain. All right, there we go. See that? We're just coming in. And we're making little straight lines with our dark brown. All right, there we go. Look at that right through there. That's really cool. Right? Okay, there we go. In between the bands, you can see the little strokes of the super dark brown we put in there just to suggest a little wood grain happening. From a couple feet away, it'll look like wood grain. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our cord. Okay, we've got some hemp cord. We're going to get a little bit of super glue down on our cord, just like that. Stick it right down there, and we're going to hold it while it bonds, just like in a second. All right, there we go. We are anchored. All right, let's move this out of the way, and we're going to put a little bead of super glue right along here, just like that. And we're going to come in. All right, there we go. We're just going to keep going. We're going to go right around. Let's finish our line. We're going to kind of have it come right through here. Wrap it around. Right there. And there we go. All right, beautiful. Now we're going to cut the end of this off. Super cool, man. Look at that. All right, now we got one last little detail. Get a little bit of our titanium white down. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to take our template and we're going to hold it there. All right, there we go. Pretty easy. Now we're going to come around and do the same thing on this side. Got our cool little pattern on our handle. All right, now we're going to come in with our brown and our black. We're going to make a tiny little bit of mud on here. All right, let's get a little tiny bit of water. Just like that. Now we're going to come in. All right, there we go. Get some dirt on here. We're going to go right across here, right across the front of our cord. Alright, we've got it on all three sides. We're just going to dab it. And leave some residue on there. See that? Wow. Nice look. Nice, nice look. There we go. Alright, there we go. Check that out. A bunch of dirt and grime and stuff all over it. Wow. All right. Now, a little bit of a dirty change around those red bands. Okay, there we go. We just added a little bit there. And that's what you do. You just look around and you decide, all right, we're going to add a little bit right here just to darken this area up a little bit, and maybe a little bit right over here. You just dab it, but don't take it all off. There we go. All right, man, we got some crud around here. That's holy cow. All right, we've got our little gold details on our bands. We've got our dark brown handle. We've got our fake wood grain by using regular brown, and then we came in with some umber, a little bit lighter to hit the edges, and then we came in with a really dark brown we mixed to get the kind of wood grain lines in there. Just used a template, roughed on our little pattern here, and we wrapped our hemp cord around the head of this thing. We used some super glue to hold it in place, and then we finished it up with getting our mud wash out, which we love, and slopping it all over the head here and all over these bands here and all over the cord. And dabbed it off, added a little bit more on where we wanted a little bit more of it. And look at that, that's looking sufficiently cruddy. And we talked about this earlier too, that we made this too thick. We should have made this a little bit thinner, but it's not the end of the world. Pretty cool, look at that, man. All right, sweet. All right, so with that last mud washing detail, that brings our Assassin's Creed Tomahawk build to a close.
There you go. Super easy. You saw it. A little bit of dremeling to round off the handle. We sanded it to smooth it off a little bit, and that was it. And then we drilled up into the head and put it in there, and that was all. Totally easy. This was a super easy build and super fun. Look at that thing, man. Love this. Very cool. Very, very cool. So that was it. That concludes the very easy making an EVA foam Assassin's Creed Tomahawk Part 2. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.